Hi there. Welcome to another episode of Cosmic Besties. This is your go-to space for deep and soulful conversations that should feel like hanging out with your best girlfriends. So, whether you're a seasoned spiritual seeker or just dipping your toes into the mystical, this channel is here to help you expand your mind, spark your intuition, and make the unknown feel like home. So, today's episode is going to be about friendship. Right, Christy?
Yeah, so today we thought it would be, since we are like the cosmic besties, it'd be nice to talk about friends and how important it is to have specifically like girlfriends in your life. There was that study done by, I think it was like Harvard School of Nursing, where they actually found evidence to support that having strong female friends in women's lives actually lowered their risk of certain diseases, which is incredible.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Um, oh my gosh, going back to like our days of psychology, do you
Mhm.
remember Maslow's hierarchy of needs? It was like
Yeah.
um basic needs, so like sleep and food and water at the bottom, and then safety and security. And then like the third one, love and belonging, is that like need for connection.
Hmm.
Also esteem, which is the next one where you kind of have this need for like self-worth. Like those two I feel like are absolutely critical to
Yeah.
take from your friendships.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that like when you're younger, it's more about like quantity, right? Like how many friends do I have? And like, like where's the party gonna be? Like who's all coming? And then as you get older, you realize like it's really more important about the connection, right? Feeling like safe, feeling uh heard and seen on that deeper level. And that becomes more important than, having like 100 friends. Like just having one or two really, really close, like ride or die girlfriends. Um, is so important and it can also be so healing too.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think like I still have I don't know if you feel this way too, but like I still have a lot of friends, but they're like they're like different friends for different reasons, right? Like I have the friends I have um through like the parents of my kids' friends, and then I
Yeah.
have the neighbors, and then I have like the friends who I have from like Zumba class. But to your point, when it comes to like the really, really deep friendships, the ones where, you know, they know everything about me, it's pretty limited. You're one of
Yeah.
the few.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think that I don't know, it can just be so healing and it's so important to have like at least one friend in your corner who's going to always love you and never judge you and just support you. Like I think that especially with women, there's a lot of competition and you'll find other women sometimes that are like almost competing with you or who are not necessarily being like truthful in front of your face.
Yeah.
And those are the people that like you just don't have time for anymore when you get into your 40s. You're like, I'm done with that. And so having that person like a true friend that is really going to be there for you, that like you can call in the middle of the night and know that like she's not going to be like, why is this person calling me? She's just going to be listening and supportive.
Yeah.
That's life changing. Friends for me have always been like super important. I think because I was an only child, like my good friends, if you were my good friend, like you're my sister. Like I still have one of my best friends that I met on the first day of kindergarten. Um, because like I like once you're in my little web, it's hard to get out. And for me, like friends have really saved me. Um, I'm so freaking grateful for my friendships. I don't know if you remember in college
Mhm.
the season of like the Spanish boys.
Yes.
And we won't say his name, Roberto. But anyway, that was weird. I don't know what happened there. But I was dating this guy and I really liked him. Um, and I grew up Catholic and with that Catholic guilt, so I wasn't sure if I was waiting for marriage or if I was waiting just to like fall in love and be like in a really committed relationship. But whatever the reason was, I was waiting. And I really fell hard for this guy. And I remember, it had been a couple weeks and we talked about like do we want to sleep together or don't we want to sleep together? And I opened up and I told him, well, I am actually like waiting. I don't know where I am in this like season of life. And that man said all the right things. He was like, oh, no, like I love that you respect your body. I wait as long as take as long as you need. I will wait for you however long you need. I'll wait for you forever. He said all the right things. And I was like, I'm gonna marry this man. Like, who is this guy? Like, oh my gosh, he's gonna wait for me. Like, he's not like all the other guys that just would like ghost me after I told them that I was waiting. And I just really, started to fall head over heels for him. And then I remember you and I and our friend Stephanie went out one night and we came back drunk. And so I was like, let's go see like the Spanish boys. And his friends came out of the apartment complex, which was kind of weird that they came out and he didn't. And I don't remember who found out. I think it was maybe you. You were like, where is he? Why is he not coming out? I actually think you called him and he didn't pick up. And his friend finally fessed up, like, oh, because he's got a girl up there.
Hmm.
And so my little heart that was like thinking, oh, maybe this guy could be it, like immediately broke. And I think like you and Steph calmed me down and you were like, do you want us to walk you home? And poor Stephanie lived in Illinois. She had to drive home and we were at your apartment. So it didn't make sense that you would walk me home. So I was like, no, no, like I'll be okay. I'm gonna go back and go eat a bag of popcorn and cry myself to sleep. And I remember I got to like the lawn in front of the business center,
Hmm.
like the education building or whatever. And I was like, oh, I'm not okay. And I sat down on the lawn and I just started crying. And I called Eloisa and she immediately was like, where are you? Sarah and I are coming. And I just remember sitting there like sobbing and looking up and seeing Sarah Taft. Literally, like if you don't know Sarah Taft, like she's 5'10". She's just this gorgeous, like all legs. She looked like a gazelle, like sprinting towards me. And she just scooped me up and both of them, like it makes me emotional. Um, Both of them just like put their arms around me and they just held me.
Yeah.
And they held me until I stopped crying and I calmed down. And then they walked me home and they helped me like put me to bed. And that's why you need friends. That's why you need girlfriends because I could have called my best guy friend who lived like right across the street and he would have come and he would have probably made a joke to try and make me laugh and then been like, "Screw that guy, let's go get drunk." But what I needed in that moment was I needed the unconditional love that only girlfriends can give you. I needed to feel safe and seen and loved. And that's exactly what a true girlfriend will provide for you. It's different. Like, I don't care what anyone says. It's different between like a relationship between a girl and a man and your girlfriends.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Why does it always have to involve boys? My story also involves a boy.
Yeah.
There was a relationship of mine in the past that was on again, off again for 5 or 6 years, probably. And reflecting back now with clarity of mind, I can see that this individual was a narcissist, and I was stuck in this like narcissist empath cycle. For those of you who may be unfamiliar with it, Google it and you'll get a ton of great resources. But Christy was definitely a part of my life throughout that entire relationship. And one of the things I appreciated most is, I would come sobbing to her whenever I was in the bad part of the cycle. And she was probably so fucking sick of my cycle and the pattern, but she would always listen and console. And she was there for me through all of the ups and the downs and the ups and the downs and the ups and the downs. In fact, at one point, we were even roommates during this time. And,
Mhm.
um, you know, there was never any judgment. There was never any, um, I was never made to feel like I was making bad decisions. Christy was always very supportive. Like, you were always very supportive of me. Like, you would support me in whatever decision I made. But you'd also reiterate that you wanted me to be happy. And so, eventually, I came to my senses and realized that this relationship was toxic and I ended it. And Chris, you were never one of those people that was like, I told you so. You could have easily said that to me over and over again. But you didn't. And, you saw me through that roller coaster, which lasted many years. And you were probably sitting there on the sidelines going, when is this ride going to end? Like, it is several years too long.
No, and you just had to figure it out on your own. I do remember that. And it was like from my side, from like the friend side, it was so hard because you were really hurting. And I remember we like met him. I think we were driving back from Wisconsin and he was working somewhere like in Illinois and we met him and he was just like belittling you and like the fire inside of me that I felt like I remember being like, don't talk to her that way. Like I wanted to like slap him. But I think part of being a good friend is you have to listen and hear your friends and support them, but also know when they just need support and when they maybe need like a little nudge. And I feel like for you, like I just had to be gentle with the nudges and I really just needed to like show you care. Um and you've done the same for me too with like other relationships as well. Like I remember when my college boyfriend and I broke up and I was again heartbroken. And I came home and like you had like flowers and wine and I think chocolate on the table and we just like sat and cried together and then like got silly and you made me laugh and that's a sign of a good friend. And when you can like start the conversation in tears and end in laughter, like that that's where the medicine is with sisterhood.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so many phases of life we've been through together.
Uh,
And I think, in one of our previous episodes, we talked about kind of how you can lose yourself at different elements or different points in your life as you're going on this journey. Motherhood can be a spot for people, moving, shifting, changing relationships. Those can all be points in time where you kind of lose yourself. And so, like, the deepest friendships are going to stand the test of time. And
mhm.
I think finding people like that you can keep in your life is so important. And if you haven't found that person to be a part of your tribe yet, don't stop looking. Like you will eventually find that person for you. For me, like I think when I think of you, Christy, and some of the friends you've had throughout, like since you were little, I'm envious of that. I also love that for you. So it's like a good envy, but like I didn't have that experience. I don't have those deep friendships from like childhood or growing up that I have been able to maintain over time. And so um you kind of find your people at different points in time. So while Chris was really lucky to have some of those people early on and then get more in college, like for me, I felt like it wasn't until end of high school and then college where I found some of those people that have been longstanding friends.
Yeah, and I think it like there's I don't know, like it like shifts, as you get older. Like I remember, I don't know if you feel this way. I think you probably do, because I think that we might have even talked about it when like our kids were a lot younger. I think it's so hard to meet new people and make friends when you're out of college, like when you're out of your 20s. I think there's something that's like really magical about the friends that you make in college and the friends that you make like in your early 20s because you're right, like you're going through life together. Like your experience is my experience. And I think one of the reasons why women are so good at connecting is because you're like, well, I'm going through it too. It's almost this like shared experience. But then when you get older and settle down and you get married and you start having kids, um, again, if you don't know yourself, you're going to lose yourself. But on top of that, it's also like kind of trying to again find like navigate like where you fit in friendships because I think that like women when you become a mother, you become kind of like laser focused on your kids. And like I said in the previous episode, like I think something biological is going on so that like it's like survival.
Yeah.
Um But I think when you do that, when you come out of that like early motherhood haze, then you're like, oh my gosh, like where are my people? Where are my friendships? And what you'll find is those people that are truly meant to be in your life and are really good friends are still going to be there, even though you might not have like talked to them as much as you would have when you were, 22 and going out with each other every night. They're still going to be there. They're still going to be in your corner. But then finding those new friends is
Yeah.
difficult. It can be hard. It's like sometimes I'm like, gosh, we need like speed dating, but for like friendship, right? Where you're just like going
Yes.
like, okay, like I'm gonna give you 3 minutes, and if I connect with you, like we'll be friends, and if not, like move on.
Yeah, I actually thought about like maybe trying to coordinate something like that at one point because I agree it's
Yeah.
so hard. Did you ever
Mhm.
read the book MWF Seeking BFF?
No.
Okay, so there's this author, Rachel Birch. She wrote this book back in like I want to say it was like 2010 or 2012 or something like that. And I read it at the time. It's called MWF Seeking BFF, and it's about a year-long search to find a new best friend. So she's like a grown married woman, and I think she was living in like Chicago or New York or something. But she basically writes this book to document the process of what it's like to try to like meet new friends as an adult. And it's so hard.
Yeah. It's really hard. And I think that it takes work and a lot of, it's just you don't have as much time when you
Yeah.
have a family and you have a full-time job and other responsibilities. Which is why like I'm so freaking excited for our retreat, because one of the things that Kelly and I want to focus on is not only alignment with your soul and your soul purpose, but also like divine like sisterhood alignment with other people and finding those connections, because when you come to a retreat like this, it's not going to be, uh-oh.
You're still
Oh,
here. Keep talking.
okay. It's not gonna be, I was like, oh, did we end? It's not gonna be just like this individual journey, although that is definitely part of it, but it's also going to be this very safe, open, judgment-free environment where other women are going to be together, and kind of like how my friends found me and picked me up and held me when I was so sad. You're going to have that same feeling by coming to this retreat, whether it's by, connecting to the person sitting to your left who's a new friend, or connecting to Kelly and me. You're going to find that connection, that piece that's kind of been missing, or that you're hoping and longing to kind of gain.
Yeah. We're trying to curate a really tight-knit group of fierce females who are all about that sisterhood, that meditation. You'll get to do a little bit of a intuition workshop, and then you'll also get some benefits like Reiki and maybe even a channeled message or something like that. But Christy and I just really want to do good for other fierce females and make sure we're being bridges in this world and
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah, I think it's so important, especially like just as you get older, having that connection. I know like I have had moments in my life now where I'm like, gosh, like I really miss like my girlfriends. I miss like just being able to like be in PJs and sit on the couch and watch dumb shows and talk about anything and everything and not feel judged. Like that, like I said, like there's medicine in the connection that you find with another friend. And we're hoping that this retreat is like not only medicine for your soul, but also medicine maybe for your heart too.
I love that. So
Yeah.
on the screen right now is our information about Soul Rise, the Awakening Retreat. There's a QR code down there. If you scan that, it will take you to the Eventbrite website where you can actually register. And if you register before the end of April, then there is a special gift that we will give to you attending the retreat. It's worth $50. But this is we have significantly lowered the price of this. So if you do a coaching package with me, that 6 months is in the thousands to be able to do because of my hourly rate. If you do a Reiki session or a channeled reading with Christy, it's also quite steep. But we really wanted to make it affordable for a new group of women who might be just starting on their awakening journey. So it's a $3,500 value to come join us from 10 to 3, and we're just charging $555. And that includes coffee, snacks, and a light lunch, and also a few little surprises along the way. So we hope you'll join us. But if you're like, this is for me, and money is the barrier for you, then shoot us an email. That's also on the flyer. You can email us at cosmicbesties@gmail.com, and we can talk about what our sliding scale looks like.
Yeah, definitely don't let the money thing be like your barrier or to prevent you from joining us. We also, like, if you click the link or go to the QR code, Eventbrite, we didn't realize has tons of fees. So it's really nice because like they set it all up and they kind of help you and it's very organized. But if you're wanting to avoid like I think it's like $100+ extra in fees, again, like just reach out to us and we can figure out a way for you to maybe have like either a payment plan or to pay us directly and avoid all of those fees too. So that's another option.
And if you're like, this doesn't sound like it's for me, but I know someone who would love this, we hope that you will please, please, please pass along this episode and that QR code or the link to the Eventbrite site and get this in the hands of the folks it was meant to find. So we are really manifesting that we will have an amazing group of women who are ready to find their high vibrational tribe. And it could be you.
Yeah, let's all create a sisterhood and become new friends. And then we'll live longer according to Harvard, right? It's like science. We'll have
Sure.
that connection and we'll have a long, healthy life.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, if you have questions too about the retreat, don't hesitate to send an email to us at cosmicbesties@gmail.com. We're happy to answer any questions too, especially if it's not answered in the FAQ. So I guess let's end with live long and prosper, right? What is
Yeah. I don't know, but I like it.
yeah, yeah. So we'll see you around next time for another episode coming up.